From becoming the biggest star in the music industry to disappearing into obscurity, it is necessary to research Diddy's fall from grace. The rapper and SL producer's perspective has altered as a result of information received from former bodyguards, friends, and associates.
These things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there, Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans,
And your
Jodeci,
parents were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to puppy camp?
Hell no.
Hold on, we hear about a sex cult. How can we know this given Diddy's status as a rap artist? The most recent revelation asserts that Diddy was operating a sex cult prayer on young, naive musicians, trying to convince them to regard him as their ultimate boss. Mogul Diddy took care to ensure that word of his illegal activity never leaked. Cassie Ventura's prolonged period of on and off the initial whistleblower in October 2023 was Diddy's ex-girlfriend. Since then, a number of men and women have come forward with allegations that Diddy would effectively force them into joining his cult. They say that he would entice them in with lavish gifts, get them hooked on the promise of staring him down, and then convince him to join a sex cult. Cassie won a lawsuit for $30 million, and Diddy's attorneys are arguing that the other accusers are only in it for the money. They are also refusing to acknowledge Diddy's involvement in Cassie's case. In case you were wondering, after the accusations started flying in,
I run shit here, nigga. You
So I
feel
said-
me? I run shit.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Little Rod ain't worth giving this kingdom to if we don't control his publishing. I can solve his efforts with 3 other human beings. He's eating at our table, and I like his backstory, but you need to have other people. It's hard to work with him unless we have his pub. He's a piece of shit human, but we do not need his talent unless we can work.
Diddy started losing sponsorships and brand deals minus 18, if you're keeping track. So every day brought with it a fresh charge against a celebrity. Here's what occurred, which is what Jay's is using to set Diddy up right now. It's something he will never get over. Learad Rodney Jones lived with a music producer and observed awful things.
Where a lot of my clients get into problems and a lot of other attorneys' clients get into problems. They know something is coming, they know they're about to be in trouble, and then they try to cover it up. That is where the issue arises. As long as he does what he's doing right now, stay under the radar, go to your events, ride your bike, hang out on the beach, get on your boat, fly your private jet, right? Do all the things, but don't try to run, don't try to cover it.
Which he detailed in a 73-page declaration he filed with the court. Lil Rod's testimony was sufficient for the police to obtain a warrant to search Diddy's law mansion, where they discovered even more evidence of the sex cult. Lawyers have had mixed reactions to the excessive force and hostility displayed by the authorities or the treatment of his children and employees. So we know that they were taken out of the house and that they were handcuffed. However, Lil Rod lived with Diddy for a year in order to work with him on his 9th studio album. Were placed in handcuffs when you speak about gross misbehavior and what is considered gross mean in civil law, gross carelessness. The 2 sons, who I believe are between the ages of 30 and 25, were not arrested. Things like that shock the system, are above and beyond, are recklessly disregarding human safety, human life. So if you want to start painting the picture that the government did overstep or used excessive force, calling them kids or children and saying and showing that they were handcuffed outside the house and showing that picture or video, I think does start to move that narrative forward. Some of them agree that the crimes are horrible enough to warrant the use of force, but others are claiming that they used an excessive amount of force. Celebrities could really hide their misbehavior. They could have someone sign an NDA, pay them off.
Celebrities could really hide their misbehavior. They could have someone sign an NDA, pay them off, and there was really nowhere for that person to go. Someone like Diddy, they could kill a story, or Harvey Weinstein. They could kill a story even if a person goes directly to the media. But now someone doesn't need to go to the media. They can just post on Instagram or Twitter, file a lawsuit, and then have their attorney post that lawsuit to social media and send it to everyone with a trigger warning on it. And then it becomes viral in and of itself, and people can read it for themselves.
And there was really no for that person to go someone like Diddy. They could kill a story, or Harvey Weinstein. They could kill a story even if a person goes directly to the media. But now someone doesn't need to go to the media. They can just post on Instagram or Twitter, file a lawsuit, and then have their attorney post that lawsuit to social media and send it to everyone with a trigger warning on it.
Coonery, buffoonery going on, the culture's getting killed. I'm not even saying nothing about it because I'm just so burnt.
And then it becomes viral in and of itself if people can read it for themselves. In any case, Diddy wasn't even home when the search was being conducted. He'd apparently taken his youngest daughters with him on a trip. A lot of people asking did he know his home was about to be raided, and several of his friends and associates were at the mansion, though now aerial footage showed him in handcuffs as they was being taken away into custody. A familiar face in the people who were being arrested was Justin Dyer's daddy's son. Now footage shows Justin's car pull up to Diddy's law mansion shortly after the police made their way in. Now he can then be seen approaching law enforcement officials inside the home with his hands over his head. Now Justin's mother, Misa Hilton, posted video clips from the scene and claimed that law enforcement officers were profiling Justin, but lawyers have pointed out that Justin had actually been named as a co-defendant in several of the cases against his dad, including the sex cult allegations. This leads us to the proof of the sex cult inside of Diddy's mansion. Now police claim that they found several illegal substances, guns, and such hidden away in.
Not have the comments on her post so that you don't see any negativity directed towards the child. Now, it's something to remember is that these social media personalities and celebrities and moguls, their social media presences are monetized. And so the more engagement that they get on each post, the more money that they...
Different corners of the house now. The bulk of it, though, was found in his basement, which doubles as his dungeon. Apparently, lot experts believed that Diddy's avoidance on social media was on the advice of his lawyers. Even on the day of the raid, Diddy posted pictures of his youngest daughter with him on vacation. Now, he then turned off all the comments on that post.
Been indicted. And so I don't see him doing, and he's been dropped by some of the companies that he worked with because of the negative image. So you'll probably see him leaning more into social media. The comments will likely be on most of the posts. He will probably not talk about the case itself because it is a form of monetization.
And he did the same thing with another post. Two things got juicier when he posted a clip from the music video Victory, which features a shot of Diddy running away from the police. This time, though, he left the comments on, and fans made fun of him for not taking some really serious allegations seriously. Meanwhile, law enforcement experts think this was the worst thing that he could have done. Now they believe it's an admission to him evading the police. Now what made it worse was the Diddy captioned it with "Bad boy for life, even been indicted." And so I don't see him doing. And he's been dropped by some of the companies that he worked with because of the negative image. So you'll probably see him leaning more into social media. The comments will likely be on most of the posts. He will probably not talk about the case itself because it is a form of monetization. Some lawyers think Diddy's milking the allegations. That's right, he's trying to use even this as an opportunity to make money. Now, one of the reasons why he's left his comments up on more controversial posts is the boost engagement on social media. Now he doesn't have his brand deals to hold on to anymore, so this is the best way that he can make some money right now. The question of how many other people were involved in the Diddy sex cult is further raised by the evidence, but we do know for a fact that Cuba Gooding Jr. was involved because Lil Rod claimed that he had assaulted multiple people at Diddy's parties. The Hollywood actor has been involved in his own legal issues for some time now, and Yum Miami was also mentioned in Lil Rod's files as one of Diddy's girls. It's all just really jacked up, man. And how many other people do you think were even in Diddy's cult? Let me know what you think in the comments section below, and I'll see you next time. Lil Rod claimed that Diddy was paying her to get other young women in the music industry hooked on a lifestyle and eventually to join his cult.